A Ukrainian drone races across an abandoned field toward a Russian soldier moving through the open terrain. As the drone closes in, the soldier suddenly notices it and begins running in panic, repeatedly changing direction in an attempt to escape. Despite the desperate maneuvers, the drone continues its pursuit and quickly catches up to him. The following situation unfolds along a contested forest edge in the Pokrovsk direction. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone detects a Russian soldier seated beside a tree, appearing to maintain or inspect his weapon. The area shows signs of recent fighting, but at that moment, the position seems calm. Coordinates are relayed, and a Ukrainian strike drone is redirected toward the location. On the ground, the soldier remains unaware of the approaching threat. He leans back against the trunk, momentarily resting, focused only on his equipment. As the drone closes the distance at low altitude, the growing engine sound blends into the background of the forest. The aircraft moves within striking range without drawing a reaction. Only at the final moment, as the drone accelerates toward him, does the soldier look up in sudden alarm. A Russian soldier is seen crawling along the edge of a forest, apparently wounded in the leg and unable to walk. At the same time, a Ukrainian drone moves quietly through a nearby drainage pipe and comes to rest at the opposite opening, directly along the path the soldier is crawling toward. Unaware of the danger, he reaches the culvert and picks up the drone. Moments later, the device suddenly detonates. The following incident unfolds near a devastated area in the Donetsk sector, where ruined buildings and shattered trees show signs of recent fighting. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone spots a Russian soldier moving cautiously through the wreckage. He carries a small bucket in his hand, suggesting he may be searching for water somewhere nearby. As he approaches a dry, leafless bush, the soldier suddenly slows, appearing to sense something unusual. He steps into the brush and sits down, remaining completely still in an apparent attempt to avoid detection. Meanwhile, another Ukrainian drone is redirected to the area and begins scanning the path he had just taken. After several moments of careful observation, the drone identifies the motionless figure concealed within the bush. Once the position is confirmed, the aircraft rapidly closes the distance and commits to the strike, ending the encounter among the ruined landscape. A Russian soldier moves along a dirt road when a Ukrainian drone suddenly approaches from behind. After the initial strike, he remains motionless on the ground, showing no attempt to rise as the drone maintains observation over the position. The situation unfolds near the Pokrovsk direction when a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone detects a Russian soldier crouching beside a rain puddle near a cluster of bushes. He leans down and drinks quickly from the collected water. Seconds later, the soldier appears to notice the faint sound of approaching rotors. Alarmed, he suddenly runs toward a nearby ruined house and disappears inside. Moments afterward, a Ukrainian drone descends toward the structure and strikes the building where he attempted to take shelter. A Russian soldier is seen moving cautiously along a line of trees for cover. When he reaches a roadside drainage culvert, he pauses briefly before climbing inside, likely hoping the narrow space will conceal his movement. Moments later, a Ukrainian drone suddenly descends from the opposite opening of the culvert and launches its strike inside. Near the Kupiansk direction, a Russian soldier is seen sliding down a small slope near a cluster of bushes before losing his footing and falling to the ground. As he struggles to regain balance and attempts to stand, a Ukrainian drone suddenly descends and strikes the position. After the initial impact, the soldier appears injured, particularly in the leg, and is unable to move normally. He begins crawling uphill, trying to reach higher ground or find a place to recover. His movement remains slow and strained across the uneven terrain. Moments later, another Ukrainian drone approaches the same area and dives toward the position, delivering a second strike before he can secure cover or regain mobility. Near the Pokrovsk direction, a Russian soldier is seen resting beside a ruined house, likely believing the damaged structure provides some degree of concealment. His position is soon detected by Ukrainian aerial surveillance, and the coordinates are quickly relayed to a nearby drone team. Within moments, a Ukrainian drone moves into the area and descends toward the location before the soldier becomes aware of the threat. The initial strike forces him to react suddenly, and he scrambles to his feet before running toward a nearby dirt road in visible panic. However, the movement does not last long. Another Ukrainian drone rapidly arrives and begins tracking him from above. As the drone closes the distance and commits to the attack, the soldier turns his head back one final time, realizing the pursuit has already caught up with him. The following moment takes place across a grassy field in the Pokrovsk direction, where a Russian soldier is seen moving alone without nearby support. Within minutes, a Ukrainian drone is directed toward his position. As the drone dives in for the attack, the soldier reacts quickly, leaning aside and narrowly avoiding the initial approach. He immediately raises his rifle and fires several shots in an attempt to disable the drone. However, the Ukrainian operator skillfully maneuvers the aircraft, avoiding the gunfire while maintaining pursuit. Moments later, the drone rapidly closes the remaining distance and strikes the soldier's position. A Ukrainian drone scans an abandoned agricultural field, now overgrown with tall weeds. During the sweep, the operator notices a Russian soldier moving across the open ground. The drone circles above him, forcing the soldier to step backward in visible alarm. As the aircraft closes the distance, panic sets in, and the soldier suddenly turns and runs across the field, attempting to escape. The drone continues its approach from above, tracking his movement until it finally catches up and strikes his position. The following incident unfolds at an abandoned vehicle repair workshop near the Chasiv Yar direction. A Ukrainian drone is tasked with conducting a detailed sweep of the deserted structure after reconnaissance units reported signs of possible Russian activity inside the facility. The drone carefully enters the building, moving slowly through the damaged interior and scanning every corner of the workshop. It passes over empty repair bays, broken equipment, and scattered debris, methodically checking each area to ensure nothing is missed. After an extended search, however, no personnel are found inside the structure. The drone exits the building and begins scanning the surrounding area. Moments later, as it circles the exterior wall, the aircraft detects a Russian soldier pressed tightly against the outside of the structure. It appears that while the drone was searching inside, the soldier may have slipped out and attempted to remain hidden along the wall. Once the drone turns toward him, the soldier suddenly breaks into a run in panic. The reaction comes too late. The drone quickly closes the distance and commits to the strike. 3 Russian soldiers are seen moving along a muddy dirt road near trench lines in the Zaporizhzhia direction. Puddles from recent rain slow their pace as they advance cautiously. Moments later, a Ukrainian drone descends and strikes near the group. 1 soldier collapses from the initial impact, while the remaining 2 react in panic, running toward a damaged armored vehicle nearby and attempting to use it as cover. The effort lasts only seconds. Another drone rapidly approaches and dives toward their position, followed shortly by a 3rd drone striking the same area. Not far away, 4 additional soldiers cross an exposed grassy field. A Ukrainian drone intercepts them, halting one of the men. Within moments, 3 more drones arrive in sequence, each targeting individuals as they attempt to scatter. Nearby, 2 other soldiers try to move fallen comrades onto a vehicle for evacuation. One steps away from the group and is quickly engaged by a drone. The remaining soldier turns and runs, but another drone closes in, ending the movement under continuous aerial pressure. 2 Russian soldiers are seen moving across an exposed patch of ground with little natural cover around them. Moments later, each man slips into a different nearby bush, attempting to conceal their positions. Within seconds, a Ukrainian drone arrives overhead and descends toward the area, striking directly between the 2 bushes where the soldiers had attempted to hide. The following event was monitored from above by Ukrainian drones over the city of Pokrovsk in the Donetsk region. Intelligence teams identified several buildings being used as temporary concentration points for Russian assault groups preparing to move toward the front line. Once the locations were confirmed, drone units from Ukraine's 7th Air Defense Division, together with additional air defense formations of the armed forces, began a coordinated aerial response. Multiple bomber drones approached the area in sequence, carefully releasing payloads onto the rooftops and entrances of the structures believed to be hosting the assault teams. The strikes were carried out one after another, maintaining pressure on the positions and preventing organized movement from the buildings. From the aerial perspective, the operation appeared methodical and controlled, with drones repeatedly returning to the same cluster of structures as surveillance confirmed continued activity inside the targeted locations.